everyone. In a series of dealing with verbal English paper, we've been talking about how are these concepts, essential concepts in the English language appear in the form of verbal English paper. So in the previous sessions, we saw how these prepositions can be used or in verbal English paper. So if there are questions or based on prepositions, you can certainly take up these questions with great confidence without any inhibitions, and you can really take up the challenge that's before you. So we are continuing with the concept verbal English paper. And under that category, what are some language aspects that appear that come for the English paper, verbal English exam? So you have to be aware of all these grammatical concepts, like we dealt with prepositions, like we talked how these prepositions can be used. And now we are going to speak, or we are going to talk about how these words, like vocabulary words, will be useful if you have those things ready made on your on your table. So part of that, we are trying to look at different synonyms for this exam, like verbal English paper. So we try to put and use these synonyms in different questions. Okay, so what are those questions and how are they going to appear for the appear in the exam? So let's get started. Verbal English synonyms, right? So if there is a question like this, sometimes they don't ask the entire question in the form of any sentence. Sometimes they'll just mention the word and then they give various options, and like MCQ based multiple choice questions. So sometimes they'll ask in the pattern of a sentence, and sometimes they don't ask in any way. So you have to understand how to. This is very easier, right? So when you have to think about the options that are given in the context and sentence, and it will be very easier for you to understand only the question word, and you can pick up the right answer. And there are also disadvantages, right, to it. So why? Because if you do not know the meaning of the sentence, but in case if there is a sentence and you can understand the question in the context of the question. So if you understand the context around, then definitely you can pick and choose the right answer. So you take the word, take the form, and understand the context, and you can just click on the answer and try to impress the reader or the exam setter by selecting the right answer. So if you can gain marks in this verbal English paper, you can definitely hit your success, and the success that you've been desiring for and planning for. Right. So now the option one is, the question one is remote. So remote, what kind of remote it is? Is it a TV remote that we are talking about? So no, it's not about that. So the TV remote that you have to is something that's very different from the question that's been asked here. So remote, that's all. No other clue for you, and no other sentence hint or sentence clue there. Right? So you have to say automatic, option one. B, distant. C, savage. Foe, mean. So remote or distant, savage, like more than, there are all these other options, like where wild, okay, kind of like savage kind of context, where there is no trace of vegetation, or a kind of like sophistication, less sophisticated thing. It's not even about this sophistication, it's like zero sophistication, and there is all empty barren place and setup around you. So in that context you can say that It's not about this fruitfulness or productivity. Okay, so no trace of productivity. Now automaticity, it is about all without any problem, without any manual instruction. So it will come by itself, or it comes, or it comes and takes a place on its own. So automaticity or automatic dial or instruction is something which you don't have to work out manually, but you can really trigger it, just by giving the options over there. So that is all about it. So distant, automatic, savage, and mean. So what is this meanness? So the meanness is all about the cheap trait, or the lowest capacity, or the lowest the cheapest and the lowest mark of it. So it's all about the meanness that is shown. Or so this is all about it's like meanness is like kind of lower, imagine, or like like kind of like significance. It's not at all significant, but it is very little thing, a little thing. So remote, A, automatic, B, distant, C, savage, D, mean. So distant, B is distant. So remote means it's very far from it. Okay, a very distant part of it. So you can take this option as the right answer. Next, 2, detest. What is this detest for? You detest something. So you detest something. What's like? Or like you argue over it. Option A. B, hate. C, discover. D, reveal. Argue, hate, discover, reveal. So do you argue over it, or you hate about it, or you hate that particular thing, or discover something very new, or reveal all that you have? It's like revealing of the reality of it. So is it all about the revealing or appealing of it, or it is about the discovery, or it's about hatred, or it's about the argument, right? Hate is something which you can really take as a right answer, because you detest something means like you hate something. So you nurtured a lot of hatred towards that particular thing. So in what way you can, so what way you can use, so what are different ways you can use? Like you detest working with them, or you detest the proposal, or you detest the argument, or you detest signing on the paper. So whatever is it, like your consent is very negative, and you very much like you oppose it, and you say no to that one. So a stronger argument that you put off, that you shut down, and you say that it is no. So it's a big no, and oh no. So it is all the shade of negativity is very much protruded here. So you can take the option, I detest the contest that's been given, or started by the position leader. So that's like the party leader came up with a proposal, and I strongly detest that. That means like you oppose, not only not only that you nurture this kind of hatred, but you detest that. That means like you oppose it. You strongly disagree, and you show your disapproval. See, different ways of understanding. I try to give you different ways of different ways where you can understand the content of it, right? So you detest something, you hate over thing. Right. Next, this is the second question. Question 3, gracious. Question 3, gracious. So what is this gracious means? Look, gracious means option A, pretty, B, clever, C, pleasant, 4, present. Gracious, pretty, clever, pleasant, present. So it is all to do with the pretty culture, or pretty beauty of it, or pretty work, or pretty presence, or like pretty object, whatever it is. It is to do with nice thing, okay, nicer things. And clever, being very smart. you, so you be being a smart person, you are trying to do it. Okay, clever, you're exceptionally clever, you are exceptionally intelligent, you're exceptionally smart, you say, right? Next, C, pleasant thing. A pleasant thing to view, overview, a pleasant thing to hear, a pleasant thing to witness. So you can say that this is the right option. And present, to be present over there, right? Gracious, it's not about the present, but you can see that like gracious presence. Okay, gracious presence. So pleasant thing, it's something which is very calm, cool, kind of like peaceful environment is also very much depicted and reflected. So that's all about it, you have to show it, so that's the way. Next, option 4, predict. So what do? Predict, prediction. Next, what is this predict about? Prediction. Predict is foretell. B, decide. C, prevent. D, discover. So you predict something. That means like you anticipate. That means you foresee and you try to say that, oh, something may happen right now. Or I predict very bad weather in 2 days. Or predict the gloomy weather today afternoon. I predict the rain to be there. So that's like you foretell something, like you imagine and you expect. So that is a kind of or a form of expectation. So a form of expectation, a form of anticipation, a form of prediction. So that is it, like you have your what you're doing is like you're predicting, you are foretelling, you are anticipating, you are imagining, you are foreseeing it, and you are foretelling it. So that is a sense of this word predict or prediction. So decide, yes, you can eliminate this option. You can prevent, yes, you can eliminate this too. Over, discover, you can eliminate this option too. So anything is fine, must be fine. So option D, A is the right answer. Kin. Kin. So what is kith and kin? We say that like we have that usage in our day-to-day language, right? So kin is, what's the meaning of it? Exult. So what is this exult? Twist, friend, relative. Exult in extreme happiness, in a very pleasant mood you are in, and it is all pretty and extremely happy thing to do it. So exult, exult, to twist, to twist, you twist something. Okay, C is your friend. Kith and kin we say is your friend. Foe, like a relative. Yes, you say a relative, a close bond, a person who who is born in the same family, very closely, a relative of that person. So relative is the person, right? Kith and kin, relative, right? That's the option. Pensive. Pensive. What is this pensiveness? Pensive mood, we say. Do you remember? Oppressed, caged, thoughtful, happy. Here, I just gave you a half hint, as almost like I did not project the full answer because I want you to understand and guess the right answer. And anyway, I've given you the very apparent clue over there. So oppressed is like something that is like suppressed and not giving enough freedom from that capacity, or like it is completely shut down. Next, option B is caged. Option B is caged, that is like it's completely inside, and it's not left with any freedom, and it is completely shut down, caged. See, thoughtful. See, thoughtful. So it's like, yes, that you are in a deep thinking. Okay, you think a lot about it, and you are lost in your thoughts. Being thoughtful. So is about this pensive. Next, happy. like you feel so happy, extremely happy. It's no, that like being very happy. So pensive mood is all about that, like you are lost in your thoughts, and that you are seriously brooding over any content that's been given to you. So you are lost in thoughts, and it's almost like you are it's like you are completely preoccupied with the form of thinking that you're planning for, like you are deeply brooding over that. So it's like you're planning seriously for the coming events, or it could be any context whatsoever that may come in your origin. So what you're doing is that you are completely immersed in yourself in the kind of thinking pattern, or thought process. So that is a sense of it. So pensive is thoughtful. 7, banish. 7 is banish. A, exile. B, hate. C, fade. D, clean. Exile, hate, fade, clean. So what is this exile? You got exiled. Hate, fade. You know the meaning of hate is that, like, you nurture hatred. Okay, you nurture hatred and you detest completely over it, and you oppose it, and you show a strong dislike against the party. You show a strong dislike against the party. So that is it. So that is what is like hate or hatred. Fade, something that's been fading away. It's coming away, fading, losing its shade, losing its the image of it, or it's like completely no more, losing its the impression of it, all that. No, and it is very tore apart. It's all that. Clean, okay? Clean, to clean the place, to keep the surroundings very clean, and to keep the things around very neat, right? So that's it. So exile, hate, fade, clean. Then what's about exile? That means like you are almost kept out of the origin, like you are kept out of the circle, like you are almost away. Exile, okay? So that's you're away, and you are no more active in the place that you are working in. So you are distant, you're separated, you're prohibited, you're restricted, you're suppressed, and you're banished. That means like you have no longer the allowance, or permission of doing it and performing it. So that is a sense of it. Exile. Fraud, 8, fraud, that is a malcontent or malcontent. Argument, impostor, and clown. Malcontent. Content is something which is very prohibited, and it is no more should be in use, and it is a completely legal kind of it. And argument, yes, you know about it. It's like you argue over you in a very either in a good way or in a bad way. You like an elaborate discussion of any topic. Next, imposter. Impostress also we say, like impostress person. Imposter again is somebody who deceives, and no longer any truth, and kind of like reality there. And it's like it's like completely filled with it, a kind of like a very fraud, and it is completely down there, and it is completely deceiving, completely spoiled. It is completely a bad thing. So that's the sense of it. So clown is, yes, a very joyful, and somebody who evokes laughter, and who produces so much of fun. So it's like fraud. It can can be related with meaning imposter, right? You can choose this meaning, and you can choose this option imposter, which is like fraud, somebody who deceives, who cheats on a person or anything. Saccharine. Ninth question. Saccharine. What is the meaning of this word saccharine? You say saccharine. Food, or option A, given, live, sweet, or it, quit. So leave, it's nothing to do that, like you leave some place, or you leave any particular place. Sweet, being very sweet on your tongue, and the taste of it, right, the sweetness of it. See, arid. What is this arid means? Like arid means a kind of like dry, and it's completely dry, and it's a dry region and completely remote, and the environment is completely different, without any people around, and it is dry completely and without any full of like situations around. It's almost a dry region. That is the sense of it. And for quit is something that you leave it when you no longer work on it. So you can choose the option B as the right answer. Sweet, a sweet body, a sugar, and sweet meat, or anything it could be which has the sweetness in taste. Okay, let's continue. Drag. Drag. So, what is the meaning of this word drag? You drag something, right? It's not about feeling sleepy or feeling drowsy. Crush, it's not about stamping on something and it is like you suppress it. No, it's not about the crush. Crushing something. Proud, being very proud. Yeah, is it like about showing your a lot of attitude, and you show a lot of like attitude where you are not very comfortable with the normal things, and you start rebelling, and you feel show that kind of pride nature. So that's it. And pull, yes, you when you drag something, you pull something. That's like you take that thing and you keep on pulling it. So it could be related to physical sense, or the kind of mental state where you don't leave the matter but you keep on pulling it, you're struggling with it. So don't drag the issue, leave it here, we say, right? So we don't extend it anymore. So that's the sense of it. Jovial is very easy, and like incredulous, options given are incredulous, B, merry, C, revolting, D, dizzy. Incredulous, merry, revolting, dizzy. So what is incredulous, we say? Incredible is different. Incredible, it's something which is unbelievable. Incredulous, who is this credulous person? A credulous man or a credulousness is to do with believing so easily without any ray of doubt. So it's it's like you believe it very easily, and incredulous is not believing, doubting. Okay, trying to find out the reason. You doubt something, and you start. You don't accept it very easily, and you start rejecting and repelling. So that is the sense of it, right? Next, revolt. Merry, being very happier. Revolting. You revolted. You fight back against. Okay, against something. You revolt. You say once again. You give your again and again. You give your consent as no. That's the sense of it. Dizzy, being very dizzy, kind of like a reel that you have, and you had reels, and you find the whole world is upside down, and you no longer feel very comfortable, and you feel that is very disturbing, and that's what like you experience a kind of whirlpool sense, and like you turn around and you see that world is upside down, and you are in a reverse way. So that's what like kind of dizziness that we understand. So merry is a right answer. Indifferent, so being different. Neutral, unkind, precious, uh, you know a mean, you can say that is a different kind. It's very indifferent. It's a different altogether. It's not neutral. There is nothing to do with this or that, or precious not being valuable, and mean is not being cheap. So you can say unkind, a different category. Next, simulate. So you simulation also we say, right? What is this simulate? Simulation we say, right? Excite, option A, excite. B, imitate. B, imitate. C, trick. C, trick. D, ape-like. Ape-like. You say excited, imitated, tricky, or ape-like. So that is what it. So you are very much excited over that. You're imitating someone. You show somebody's tricks, ape-like, kind of like having ape features like ape. So that's what kind of like the primitive animal where we are. Man is told that he has this kind of like ape-like structure having the similar features. So that's it. So, but here simulation is to do with like you imitate someone, you copy someone, you imagine that person to be in your, when you imagine yourself to be in that situation and you play the role of something. For example, if I have to simulate, doctor's role, and I feel that I'm a doctor and I now act as a doctor. So what I'm doing here, I'm doing simulation. I'm simulating something. I'm imitating the doctor's role. So that is the sense of it. That's the meaning. So option B is a right answer. 4, charisma. Charisma. What is this charisma means? Like ghost, is it to do with foes? Say charm. And D, courage. So ghost is the form of a ghost in appearance, and it is very unpleasant and highly scary, and it is completely gruesome picture like you can really recall. So it's nothing to do with that. Like force, it's nothing to do with force. Like you don't force someone. Like you don't force with unwillingness, showing unwillingness. So option C, charm. Charm, being very pleasant, being very happy and pleasant, kind of like beauty, and very cool and very nice, and use whatever you see, it will be a pleasant, and the kind of depiction that you give, it shows that the beauty of it, something of it, and the required quality that should be ever ready. So that is the sense of it. Next, courage. So courage is what? Courage, being courageous, we say, right? Like courage is that like being very bold and stronger. So that is the strength of it. But here the answer is charm. So that's pleasant and beautiful. Charisma, the meaning of it. Next, opposition is not proportion, but it is opposition. What is this opposition? Like, is it like, you divide, you categorize, you separate and work on it. So that is what division, divide. B, option B, decide. It is nothing to do with any decision. It's nothing to do with being cut. You don't cut it, or it's nothing related to any separation. Squabble, it means the same. You spoil it. You do that no more, doesn't exist, and you try to exterminate that. No, that is not the sense of it. But here opposition is called a divide. You categorize, you separate. That is the sense of it. Generic we say, like generic medicines we say. General, cheap, fresh, and elderly. So generic means cheap. It is a cheap thing. It's a very low thing. It's a cheap thing. Fresh, being fresh. Elderly, that person who is very, older, and very mature, and also in age. Okay. So, whereas generic means general. Generic medicines we say, like something which are sold in general, having commonality among various resources. So that's a sense of it. Quam. So what is this 17? Quam. Quam means what? Is it like to do with, options given are there: distress, 2, impunity, Three, C, that is persevere. Four, scruple. Like it's like, distress is something like you feel the pain of it. So you're sick of it, and you find the pain and severe thing in your body, a sensation, right? You feel the pain of it. B, impunity. Impunity is like you are, you're given an exception. You are, it's like you don't have, you're free from punishment or thing. Perseverance is also, to be able to tolerate, and scruple is also to do with deliberation. So option A is distress, feeling sick or feeling painful. Next, worry. Worry is, when we say worry, it is to do with the calmness. Is it to do with the curvedness? Is it to do with the confusion? Is it to do with cautious? We when we say it's worry, it is like we warn against something, some danger is happening. So we being cautious and not being very light and careless, like giving a kind of warning is cautious. It means worry. Distort. So we say that the picture is distorted. Distortion, we say, okay? Or wrong. Option A, wrong. Option B, evil. Option C, deform. Option D, harm. So is it to do with wrong? Wrong answer or wrongness? No, it's nothing to do with it. Evil, cynical, it's like, and it is to do with, kind of like negative, meaning evil, deformity, we say, right? Like, it's like, that is spoiled, misshape, okay, out of shape, and you no longer see the image of it or picture of it. Option D, harm. You harm something, you injure, create any, make some injuries, and you do that. You create such havoc. Deformity is like out of shape, and you no longer see the actual, shape of it and the image of it. So that is a sense of it. So deformity, deform, distort is spoiled. Next, sumptuous. 20. Sumptuous. Sumptuous means what? Being sumptuousness, we say, right? So being sumptuous is like, extremely, having more opportunity, kind of like luxury of enjoying the things that you like delirious, being very, in a excitement, okay, in unhappy, very happy mood, ecstatic, ecstaticity, completely elated, completely, different world. So delirious, we say, right? And gorgeous, extremely beautiful and extremely grand and everything. Perilous. Perilous means what? Perilous means being, a danger, danger, a dangerous thing. It's feeling a dangerous thing, and it is completely different, a dangerous one. The luxurious, luxurious, and having ample opportunities, and it's kind of more, picture and luxury, having ample amount, great, rich, ample, enough providence. So that is a sense of it. So option D is the right answer for sumptuousness. Next, 21, real. So real, it means like, what is this? Reeling, we say, like reel, whirl, like, moving round and round. Fish, it's nothing to do with fish, fishing or to fish. Hit is not, it's not about, pouncing against it, or it's like reaching the object. Next, mistake, it's nothing to do with any lapses or wrongdoing. So, but whirling is the right sense. It's like, you reel it, it moves, goes and goes round and round. So that is a sense of it. Whirling, turning upside down. It's like you see the waves of it and it moves around. So that is a sense of it. Inscrutable. Inscrutable. Option A, difficult. Option B, mysterious. Option C, inflexible. Option D, worry. Like worries, like you warn. It's a caution. Difficult. Being difficult is not very easy, and it's not very soothing and very comfortable. Option B, mysterious. Option B, mysterious. What is this mysterious? It is to do with the, unknown, hidden thing. Okay, unknown, hidden thing. Kind of like It's like you something which is not very evident in the parent, and it is completely kind of a secretive, which is not very much general, and there's a lot of mysterious clues involved, and something which is very not natural, kind of like an unnatural and hidden things around. And inflexible, not moving. Flexibility is like being very adaptable, very changeable. Inflexible, not changing very easy, not being adaptable. Okay, so inflexible, that is a war is a sign. So you can say inscrutable mystery is inscrutable issue, something which you are unable to detect it very plainly and easily. So that is a sense of it. Next, appal. So next, when we say appal means delirious, B covered, C dismay, D confuse. Appal. What is this appal? Appal. Delirious is like we said in a state of excitement, in a state of happiness, in a state of completely different thing. So that is what like we say delirious. Be covered. You cover everything. It's nothing to do with the kind of like hidden thing. Dismay. You are shocked. You're disappointed. You're depressed, and it is all. I mean, dismay, completely painful or strong condition, or a strong, deep stress that you are involved in. Dismay, confuse. It's kind of like distress. It's almost like, and it's not about completely confusing, but it is about dismaying completely. You are in a shock and disappointment, and severely stressed out, and severely distressed. Okay, that is a sense of it. You are no longer in a very normal mood. Okay, so you are completely disappointed. So that is a sense of it. Reverie. When we say reverie, so it's a reverie that I experienced yesterday. That really shocked me when you say this. So palimpsest. That is what like options given are palimpsest, phantom, daydream, curio. So palimpsest is something which is again and again used for engraving. Like you can use it as a kind of like reusable. Like a reusable object where you can engrave or anything on it. Like a phantom, it's kind of like it's a kind of ghost. It's a scary ghost. And daydream, curio, or it's like it's a kind of thing like it's a reverie, means like you dream about it. Okay, so that is the sense of a dream or daydream. It's a dream basically. Reverie means loot. You loot something, like looted. He's been looted. Like option A, destruction. Option B, plunder. Option C, spoils. Option 4, coward. Like looting someone means taking away, plundering. You enter, infiltrate infiltrate into somebody's origin, and you loot everything from that. Like you take away. Okay, that is the sense of it. Spoils, remainings of it. Coward means like boisterously, very playful and very cheeky kind of juicy person who is very over smart in a negative way, and very cunning, kind of like playful person. Like so that is like boisterous nature. We say you loot something means you take away, you plunder, you take as it your own. So that's the sense. Loquacious. So loquacious. When we say loquacious, is it like about overuse of words? Chatty, being chatty, talkative. Being. It's nothing to do with thirsty nature. Thirst. You feel strong thirst. Feeling very the kind of like you crave for some kind of water. Like beautiful. It's very beauty. And complicated, very difficult, tough, and talkative. Loquacious is to do with being very chatty, like over talking. So that is the sense of it. Talkative. Chimera. We say, what is this chimera? Is it like chimney, protest, illusion, or panic, or it's like ornamental or energetic style. So chimera means what? Chimera means it is all imagined thing. It is not at all real. It is all made in a illusionate attempt or statement. That's which is not very real. That's the sense of it. Whereas panicky is ornamental or energetic style. It's nothing to do with that sort. So that is a sense of it. Next, temerity. Temerity. What is this temerity? Temerity is it to do with audacity or fearfulness or shyness or stupidity. Audacity, fearfulness, shine. It's not timidity, temerity. Audacity, fearfulness, shyness, stupidity. Audacity is like a kind of like unnecessary, kind of shrewd, kind of like boldness you show it, unnecessary thing, very careless kind of thing. So that is the sense of it. It's nothing to do with shyness or stupidity. Educe is demanding or eliciting or ideal unlawful. You educe something from the concept given. So that means you derive, you get conclusions from that, you induce, right? Okay. So that is what like, that is a sense of eliciting the responses, taking down the conclusions. So next question, 31. Nabab. Nabab means bigwig, doubter, frolic, or converse. Bigwig means a rich man, a very big man, a famous person. So that is the sense of it. Doubter is somebody who doubts. Frolic is somebody who is very kind of mischievous and extremely enjoys everything. Converse is like talking to each other. So Nabab is a very big picture, big person, famous, popular, and rich. Sacrosanct. And we say sacrosanct is to do with respectful, holy thing, piousness. Prayer, sanctuary, pious, sacred. It is having that respect for holy things. That is all sacrosanct. Lush. What is lush? Is it like gush? Gush is awkwardness, fine, brilliant, indecent. Lush is very indecent, obscene kind of behavior and nature. That's the answer. So these are a few synonyms that I have brought for you. So try to learn all the words so that you will be able to clear your verbal English paper very easily, because 80% of those questions are based on synonyms, antonyms, and antonyms. So make yourself equipped, be equipped with this kind of knowledge, and definitely you'll be able to hit the success. Thank you, and meet you in the next session.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.